Logan Paul recently mocked God,
a belief that is silly.
and then this happened.
I made some pretty out of line comments to George. The following 3 weeks have been the hardest period of my life. We were invited by Qatar. We landed in Qatar. Camera stripped from us. $20,000 camera. All right, no problem, no problem. It's just little things here and there. Things are showing up. We misscheduled. Got violent food poisoning. Next day got alcohol poisoning. Our luggage was delayed, so we had no clothes to get to our events. Me and Mike got in a massive fight.
But rather than him complaining that it wasn't fair, he actually thought that he deserved it.
Qatar was the first time I felt the wrath of God. Ironically, I defamed Jesus and God, and I felt his wrath. It was very telling to me how the karmic energy of the universe, this is what I'll call it, just went right back around and put me in my place.
But even though George was quick to forgive Logan for mocking his faith, the fans didn't believe that Logan deserved his forgiveness. Bro, how many times are people going to forgive him? Every time he gets away from it. You cannot apologize time and time again and just be forgiven. Point is, he ain't sorry and he don't care. Y'all still be feeding this man and he does everything else but say he is sorry. But even though the fans didn't believe that George should have forgiven Logan, what they didn't know was what happened the night before the podcast episode that enabled George to forgive Logan so easily.
The night before it happened, bro, I'm sitting and I'm reading the Bible and I literally say a prayer to God. I know you love him, but I want to kill him. I want to punch him in the face, but I know you don't want me to. And I know you love him. And I know this opportunity between two best friends could open a lot of people's eyes to who God is. So I sat there and I go, God, what do you want from me? God says, be quiet and love. And like, bro, like I felt it. I'm in the kitchen, Belle's cooking dinner. And I sat there and I go, Belle, I think God just talked to me. Like, I'm not trying to be like a lunatic. And hear me out. I think I just got to talk out of love. I got to talk out of love. And she's like, why do you keep saying that? And I was like, I don't know. I just feel like I got to talk out of love. And I sat on the couch and I'm just sitting off and I'm like, bro, what does he want from me? How can I go and portray Jesus in the best way possible? She goes, hey, Adam is blowing up your phone. I answer the phone. He goes, bro, I got to tell you something. Jesus told me to tell you he loves you. And yes. And I'm like, what? I go, why did you just say that? Belle put her knife down. I go, buddy, back up. Why did you say that? He goes, I have no idea what's going on. He goes, 3 times in my prayer, God interrupted me. He goes, go tell George whatever he feels in his heart is right. And it was at that moment, bro, where I was like, all we had to learn is like, regardless of what you say and regardless of what I say, speak out of love. And to be honest, bro, like it just came to the conclusion of this. There is a very real God that will walk through this journey with you. That God is right near you. Neither him or me or Mike or any single person here will ever abandon a man like you because you're not worth abandoning. And I love you.
So, from George's point of view, God prepped him to forgive Logan in advance by telling him that he should be calm and to show love to Logan. Now, I personally have no idea if George was hearing from God or not, but one thing that I do know is that one part of what he said is consistent with what God says about forgiveness in Scripture. In Matthew 18:22, the question of how many times you should forgive someone came up. Peter says to Jesus, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times? And Jesus answered, I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times. Given the fuller context of this verse, the point is that we should keep forgiving people a near infinite amount of times. Now, of course, this doesn't mean that we should enable bad behavior or refuse to put up appropriate boundaries, but what it does mean is that we should forgive people for the countless things that they've done to us, and the reason why is because of the near infinite things that God has forgiven us for. So as Christians, we should offer people what they don't deserve, and sometimes that's our forgiveness. And the reason why we're able to do this is because God gave us forgiveness that we didn't deserve either.